To hell with Netflix. Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Beanie Girl, and if you guys have not been to my channel before, I do suggest that you step back from this video because it does have major spoilers for Inside Job Season 2 and minor cussing. Also, I really want to thank you guys so much for the support, and the reason this isn't coming out on Valentine's Day is because on Valentine's Day, I slipped getting onto the bus because there was no morning band, and my boots had no traction, so that's all good and well. So I know last year I made a video with my friend Talks and Sleep. Well, this year I'm going solo. I'm not hanging out with Talks in this Valentine's Day. I will possibly post a video with my friend Hoodie Pup. And otherwise, there's a lot of other stuff that we're gonna end up doing here. But I just want to say thank you, Anika Jarvis, for saying. I'm sorry, my brain blanks, but I want to say thank you for standing up for me on that post whenever I was telling everybody about my fall and that I wouldn't be coming out on Valentine's Day. Also, the reason I didn't post the 15th or 16th, I was too lazy to record. That's all I'm going to say right now. I was too lazy to record. So, that's pretty much the most of it. By the way, these are the full speed paints of Tira and Mr. X the Third. I did not name him. My friend named him. I did not. If you guys don't know, Mr. X the Third is from Amphibia. Anyways, if your parents are really strict, or if you are under, I'd say 16, click off this video. So, the title of this speed paint is actually Appleton, The Last Kiss. I feel like that could have been the perfect title for the episode. And this is mainly just going to be a review over Reagan and Ron and the entire Season 2 as a whole. And then in the next speed paint, I'll still go into depth about that. And then also my rant on how much I hate Netflix. In all consolation, I completely forgot about Inside Job like right after watching it. I know that's pretty stupid, but here I am. I think it was overall extremely sad for Season 2, and, I mean, when I started watching Season 2, I binged it in a whole night. I definitely think that it was wrapped up well. I think the cliffhanger was perfect. Though, I do think that we could have gotten a full 10 episodes out of that, and I'll go into depth about that later in the video. But for right now, let's. I personally didn't like the side plot episodes, like 2, 3, and 5 was okay. Episode 5 was okay. Otherwise, I pretty much just lived for the emotion derived from Reagan and Ron. That was truthfully what got me hooked and what kept me watching the show, was seeing Reagan and Ron just be all together. The first episode, it was a blast. I knew like right after they had sex, I was like, oh, he's staying around the rest of the season. And then I didn't expect it to just leave me crying in episode 8 like it did. I never thought I was this emotionally attached to this show until it ended. And here I am now. I went into a mental spiral that night after episode 8, after Appleton. And you know what? That's okay. Because here I am now. I've been in love with this show. And unfortunately, in January, thank you Netflix, it was canceled. And I think the show had so much more to live for, so much more to just hold. And I think episode 6 and 7, I think episode 6 just truthfully brought so much more into light. I think we could have gotten a full 10 episodes, as I said earlier, because, I mean, in episode 8 in Appleton, we could have, it was so mixed up with the feelings that we got. The feelings of Brett trying to save his dog, Airbud, and also just Reagan struggling with everything. I think that it could have been paced better. I think we could have had episode 8 as it was, just without the golden retriever, and it could have just been mainly focused on Reagan. We could have found out more about the robes, and we could have just seen a whole lot more. And then in 9 and 10, if we ever got them, we could just see what Brett was up to, and then see Brett comforting Reagan, and even maybe Reagan going and looking through, like, memories, or even talking to Rand. Because I think if she talked to Rand, talked about closure, talked about how hurt she was, that could have truthfully benefited her in so many ways. And so, with Reagan, it was difficult. And I love this show. I truthfully do. It takes me a few episodes to actually fall in love with the show, but I fell in love with it after watching season 2 because I forgot about season 1 after I watched it. But overall, awesome show. And on Reddit, there is this thing called Project Reboot It. It is a it's a petition. That's the word. It is a petition to get Inside Job with a 3rd season, and many more, hopefully. And you know what? I really hope it works. You should definitely sign up for the petition, and, just help us out. I mean, this show brought me so much, and it was a blast. I'm never going to forget this show as long as I live. I also had some season 3 predictions if and when we do get a season 3. I do think that the robes, I don't know what the robes are planning. I absolutely have no clue. I think someone said on Reddit, I'm not going to give you guys my Reddit for the sake of my own being, but they were talking about how they think that the robes are the original people, like the original cavemen looking dudes. They did say something about how to JR and Rand, they were saying how they needed help modernizing their ways, and that they could do that with Cognito. And truthfully, yeah. I like this idea. This idea is smart. It's what keeps me awake at night. I also had this idea where, Ron, there has to be something that's going to go on with Ron. Ron still has to be connected to the plot. Reagan used the full minute with her monologue, which was so sweet, and that's what brought tears to my eyes. And the speed paint that I'm making right here, I think this broke me making the speed paint. I made this almost directly after I watched Appleton. Like 3 days after I watched Appleton, and I worked so hard. I worked like 16 hours on it. Ron has to wonder, who's searched 1,000 lifetimes to live with him, to make sure that he was happy. She used up that full minute with that, and that was so sweet, so devastating. Tears to my eyes, I swear. I think Reagan's gonna handle the emotional bit of the breakup a lot more difficultly. I think maybe Brett's gonna find a way to just help her out in every way that possible. And I also think that she's gonna go and talk to Rand in Shadow Prison X. Because I think she may need that closure. I think we may also get a little bit more backstory as to what was going on with Rand and JR and all that jazz back then. And I'm gonna quote Rand on this one. I'm calling it a success. I do have a little input for season 1. Barrow has followed us from Gravity Falls. Why, Matt Rayleigh? Why? Why do you insist on having him follow us? Also, if you guys hear any, like, background chorus or anything, my family is watching a movie, and they like to put the TV loud, so... Oh, I do also want to mention that I am making a comic. It will be put out on my Instagram. I haven't started off with many of the pages yet, but it was brought by a story creator on Wattpad, and I asked if I could do the comic, because, in truth, I love this show. It's an AU for, Inside Job, and, you know, that comic actually brought me a lot of joy, even after it was canceled. I'll leave the link to the story in the description below. It should pop up on a title card or something up here, in your top right screen. I had to do the L trick for that. What is wrong with me? Also, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm going unscripted for this, because, you know what? Screw you, Netflix! Screw you! Also, if you guys do end up hearing my voice start getting a little bit lower here in the next few videos whenever I do voiceovers, hopefully the next video should be the Nightwing tutorial video. I might just end up putting out the Rain Wings and then adding on more and more. Like, I'm pretty sure I might end up doing Nightwings last, only because, you know, it was Clearsight's fault, and so, Clearsight brought on the Age of the Lost Continent, so when I do that, I might just leave the Nightwings for the end, because Clearsight did so much, and it'll just be leading into the Pontalan tribes in general. Also, I think Reagan should have never gone through what she went through. I relate to Reagan so much through the trauma and crap that she's been through. And you know what? I feel like if we were siblings, I'd love her like a sister. I do want to thank you guys again so much. 120-something subscribers. Holy hell. That is just beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a good day.